Good morning, everybody. Sarah, Thrifting for the Nest. Happy Monday. Hope you guys have all had a great weekend, had a good weekend of sourcing and sales and rest and relaxation with your families. I did not work at all this weekend, had a great weekend with family, and so I have not sat down to my desk to look at my numbers or anything until just moments ago. So I'm going to go ahead and do my shipping. I pulled all my items to ship. I pulled 41 items from this weekend's sales. I did run a 35% off sale in my store on Friday and Saturday, and then I did not have any sale running yesterday. So my totals for the weekend, Friday I did $311 in sales, Saturday I did $303 in sales, and Sunday I did $172 in sales. So I ran a 35% off sale because I've got some old inventory I really want to move. I thought about doing 50% off, but wanted to leave the best offer feature open on a lot of items. And I feel like when I do 50% off, I have absolutely no margin and cannot accept best offers. However, I felt like that kind of backfired on me a little bit this weekend because I got a lot of really low ball best offers on a lot of my items. So say an item was already marked down from $20 to like $12.99. I was getting best offers of like $5 and $6 on a lot of items. So, I've done the thing where you automatically decline best offers, but I like to open up conversation. So I went ahead and I declined with a comment saying, I'm sorry, I'm not offering a best offer at this time while the sale is running. And I only did that on some items like that were newer. With my older items, or more expensive items, I have more margin, so I was fine negotiating a little bit, and that's why I wanted to leave best offer open. But I felt like I spent a lot of time responding to those best offers with the declines. So going forward, I'm not quite sure if I'll do that. When I run a 50% off sale, which I don't do very often, I do remove the best offer option altogether so that I'm not haggling all the time during the sale. Anyway, it still was fine. I'm really happy with my sales. Any day that I can stay above 300 to me is like a great day. I'm happy with $200 in sales. And honestly, as long as I do $100 in sales, I'm staying plenty well afloat. So anyways, so yesterday not running the sale, I did about half as much as I did on Friday and Saturday while running the sale. But can't run sales all the time. It's just basically to get some movement going in my store. I've been trying to not run sales every day, where it's something that I have been doing for the last 9 to 12 months or so, just to kind of see if I feel like my prices are at a good price point, to be honest with you. And then when I'm willing to negotiate and I open up for best offer, I feel like my prices are well within reason. I'm well within the market. But again, you can't make people buy your stuff. You can't make people come to your listings besides the social media stuff that we've talked about, sharing your stuff either on Pinterest or Instagram, or just directing sales your way, which I've done a lot of talking about lately, but haven't done a ton of action on. So that's something that I'm trying to decide how much of my time I want to spend on that. In other news, I've put my Poshmark store on vacation just for right now. I honestly am not sure if I want to continue selling on Poshmark, at least not on the regular. I've done a few things here and there, but I just feel like whatever I do on Poshmark just distracts me from what I need to be doing on eBay. And honestly, I don't have the time or the commitment level that it takes to be on social media sharing my listings all the time. I love that Poshmark works for so many people, but for me, I feel like it just slows me down in regard to running my eBay business. I'm still going to leave Poshmark open though, because I do find that I source things that really do sell better on Poshmark. Things like Ugg boots, shoes do really well on Poshmark, and then any higher end brands seem to do pretty well over on Poshmark. So I want to keep my store open, or my closet open over there for those items, but I probably won't run it like a business like I'm running my eBay store, if that makes sense. So anyways, you guys are all here to see what I sold over the weekend. So keep in mind that these prices are my sale prices for the most part. Most of these items were sold with a 35% off discount, and even a couple of them less than that when I did accept a lower best offer. But again, was just trying to get movement in my store, and when I buy most of my stuff at the bins, I have a really great margin to work with, so I'm not losing money on any of this. If you are not sourcing at the bins, if you are sourcing at a retail thrift store and you're paying $5 to $10 an item, this strategy might not work for you. But if you're sourcing your stuff for really cheap, if you've got those mom and pop thrift shops where you're getting stuff for $1 and $2 a piece, or you're buying your stuff at the bins or 69-cent tag day, or whatever the case may be, with those lower price points, this strategy would maybe work for you, and it might be something you can consider if you have a large return on investment with the prices that you have marked your items up at. I would not be running these kind of sales if I only sourced at, say, retail Goodwills where I'm paying $6 to $10 a piece for things. I wouldn't be able to really make a whole lot of money doing it that way. But this way, I'm really not losing anything. And most of my stuff has been coming from the bins. I did go to the bins 3 days last week. 3, yes, I shopped 3 more. I actually went 4 days, but Monday was a bust, and I ended up not going on Monday. I was in there for 15 minutes and then left. And so really I shopped for 3 days at the bins last week, and I went to a church thrift shop for like 45 minutes and spent a little bit of time there, just, you know, grabbed like 5 things, nothing major, no major sourcing there. So, and then I did go this weekend to the Salvation Army, to the 69-cent tag day on Saturday. It wasn't great. There weren't a ton of color tags for 69 cents. I paid full price, you know, $5 to $7 on a few things that I felt were worth it. But that's just kind of how I run my business. I'd say 80 to 90% of my inventory comes from the bins. So keep that in mind as I'm telling you what I'm buying. And I usually try to let you know the exception to the rule when I did pay up for an item. But other than that, most of the stuff is coming from the bins. So let's see what kind of order I'm in this morning. These first few items are definitely going to be out of order because they're items I had to pull from a different spot. So the first item here is a cabbie piece. So I still pick up cabbie at the bins. I find it sells well for me. It's this green patterned sweater. It's like a thin knit sweater, and I got this at the bins, and I sold it for $13 free shipping. So I do free shipping. For those of you who have not watched my videos before, I do offer free shipping on everything that's first class. Anything priority, I do charge for shipping on. I got a best offer on this item pretty much right as soon as I listed it. I had it listed for $25, and I took a best offer of $18. It's a Saks Fifth Avenue piece, which in and of itself isn't super exciting. But it's this 100% cashmere plaid sweater vest. So $18 for something I got at the bins. I am happy with that. That wasn't actually on sale because anything that I had listed within the last couple of days before running the sale, I did not run on sale. Give it a chance to sell for full price first. All right, this next item, see if I can pull it up here. All right, it is a J. Jill piece. J. Jill is always great to pick up at the bins or for a decent price. This is an extra large sweater, super thin knit, like a linen blend sweater, and I sold it for $15 on best offer. That was another item that sold pretty much right after I listed it. This is a pretty cool find. I got this at the bins. It's a vintage, like bandana scarf, and it says picnic on the Oregon Trail, and it's Nike, and it has the swoosh all around the border. There's a little bit of staining on this. I had this up really high in my store just because you never know what a Nike collector is looking for and what value you may know. I never know what a Nike collector is looking for, and when I find this kind of stuff at the bins, I've learned my lesson to sometimes start at high and see what happens, see what kind of interest I get. So I think I had this at like $40 at one point, and then I realized I had definitely overpriced it, so that when I relisted it after the 30 days, I put it up in my store for $20 best offer, and I took a $15 best offer on this morning, which the thing weighs like 2 ounces, so I literally paid nothing for it. So I'm pretty happy with that return. All right. This item sold on auction. I did run a few auctions last week, and this item just took a little while to pay. I think this is the only auction that I have that I'm showing you today. So it's Foxcroft. Sorry, that's their wrinkle-free logo, and then there's the Foxcroft logo. come in for you. As usual, not focusing. Anyway, it's this pretty striped, colorful striped button front top. Foxcroft is super hit and miss for me. Their plus sizes definitely do better for me. This is a size 12. I had it up in my store for quite a while, so it did not sell. So started it at $3.99 plus shipping for auction, and it ended at $3.99 plus shipping. So they paid $7.94 for this top. All right, here is another cabbie piece, and this is another item that I just decided to go ahead and drop the price pretty drastically on. I did get this at the bins. Let's see if I can get this cabbie to focus in. There we go. So it's this jacquard pattern blazer. So I went ahead and dropped the price significantly on this, and then took a best offer of $16 plus shipping. So they paid $23 for this. I got it at the bins. I paid maybe $1, so still a decent profit. And you know, the bottom line is we're out of season for stuff like this. So I don't really want a bunch of heavy winter blazers and coats and clothing in my store. This is the time for me to start moving it out. Yes, I know stuff sells seasonally. I know a lot of sellers do well with that. I don't, so that's my experience. I don't really like to keep out of season stuff in my store. So here's just a good old basic Nike Just Do It sweatshirt. It is an extra large, which is a great size. Nike extra large women's stuff sells really quickly for me. Although it's my size, so I don't always put it up in my store because I usually keep it for myself. But I took a best offer of $15 on this sweatshirt, best free shipping, because it does weigh less than a pound. All right, here's some good old Adidas, and they're these colorful striped shorts. And I did take a best offer of $12.99 on these. Happy to get this jacket out of my store. I would have laughed if 4 years ago you told me I'd be selling North Face stuff for 20 bucks, but you know, times change. Stuff loses its value. It's a Denali fleece. We are at the end of the season, so I was fine doing $20 plus shipping on this, so they paid $27 for this jacket. Sold a Victoria's Secret bra. I always pick up good condition Hannah Anderson pajamas. These are just these cute little monster pajamas, footless, organic cotton. Sold these, took a best offer for $10. Sometimes these things can go up to $20. But you know, I had it up for $20, had it on sale, and then went ahead and took that $10 best offer. Here's another North Face coat. Sold this one for $25. I did get this for $2 at the Salvation Army. It was like marked, it was really, really well priced at Salvation Army. So pick this up for $2. Can't go wrong. North Face, $25 plus shipping. So they paid $32 for this jacket. I want to get rid of the jackets. All right, so this piece didn't sell for quite as much as I was hoping for, but still a good return. Paid $7 or $8 for this at a retail store. It's this Barber blend. I don't know if you remember or if you saw. My husband and I did a haul video from a Goodwill retail store a while back, maybe about a month back. We were super excited to discover this Barber brand. It is a great brand to pick up. I did have this on sale in my store for 35% off of the price that I had it up for. And so I sold it for $35 plus shipping, so they paid $42. This is a piece I was hoping to get closer to $60 on, but that's okay. It sat in my store for about a month. I had lots of watchers. It probably could have sold for more, but you know, I'm running this like a business. So I'm not in the storage business, as we like to say. I'm in the sales business. So this is just like a men's like camo shirt. It's like an army combat shirt, flame resistant. Took a best offer of $10 for this. Got that at the bins. This was another piece that I got super, super excited about when I found it at the bins, and there just was like literally no interest. So it's this vintage Nike jacket. Let's see if it comes in clear. And it's a USC jacket, women's coat. It's one of those things, like I saw the tag, because this tag has gotten me lots of interest and good payoffs before. It's this Nike vintage blue tag made in the USA. I saw this first, got super, super excited, and then I was like, oh, it's women's, which kind of lowers the value a little bit if it's not men's. and then it's a small jacket. And so this thing sat on my floor for a long time until I finally took a best offer of 15 for it. So not as exciting of a profit as I thought it would be when I picked it up, but you guys, that totally happens. It's just part of the business and it's part of learning. Sometimes I don't know what makes one blue tag Nike vintage piece made in the USA sell for 160 bucks. I had a t-shirt with that exact same tag. I put it on auction. It auctioned up with a hole in it and a stain. It auctioned up to 160 bucks. And that's how I learned that that tag was a desirable tag. But apparently those tri-blend vintage Nike t-shirts are desirable with that tag, but not a women's USC track jacket. So that's how we learn. Trial and error. And when our margins are so high in this business, high, low, when our return on investment is so high, when our initial investment is so low, we can afford to take those risks and learn that way. So here is a residual, I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure, maybe not. It's like a cowl neck top, long sleeve top. It does have some fabric pulls in it. And so it's definitely worn. So I priced it a little bit lower, but I still sold it for $18.68 and that was on sale. So all right, took a best offer of $9 on this basic Calvin Klein blouse. Fine by me. It weighs hardly anything in that linen material. So I'm wondering if Victoria's Secret pieces, like their sweats, I'm noticing kind of a downward trend a little bit. So either they are getting less trendy and less popular, or my pieces are becoming a little too worn. It used to be where I could auction off any kind of Victoria's Secret from their pink line, their sweat pants, or their jackets, and they would sell easily from 20 to 40 bucks, basically, depending on the style, no matter what condition they were. But I'm learning I have to be a little bit pickier on the condition. When they're super pilled and color faded, they're not going to sell really hardly at all anymore. I'm just noticing that trend in my own store. I just have to be a little bit pickier with the Victoria's Secret pieces that I am picking up. So anyway, Victoria's Secret pink, it is a faded hoodie. Still sold it though for $13 plus shipping. So they paid $18. St. Patty's Day is coming. So this finally sold. It's a Guinness, like suede Guinness hat. Sold this for $7. Had it in my store for quite a while. I figured it would move around St. Patrick's Day, and it moved, although low, but that's okay. Here's a brand that has done pretty well for me, Bench. It's a great brand to pick up at the bins. I sold this for $15. Nothing to write home about, but it's just a basic black and white striped pullover hoodie. This is just a basic, it's new with tags, but it's an Ava and Viv, which is a Target brand. It's a tankini swimsuit top, and I took a best offer of $7. I had it in my store for quite a while. All right, this Yankees jacket, it's worn. You can tell like the white sleeves are a little bit discolored from just normal wash and wear. Sold this for $12.70. It just has the MLB tag on the inside, and they did pay shipping for this. So these cute little girls Crocs, they're in great condition. I don't think they've been worn very much at all, but sold them for $12.34, and those will ship first class. I showed this on my haul video, or Nicole State's haul video, when her and I went to the bins together. It's this Vina Cava brand, which has sold actually really, really well, but this dress was worn and had quite a bit of fabric pilling in it, to be honest with you. So it's like, it zips off into 3 pieces, so you can zip the top off, the belt off, and like the skirt off. So I ran this on auction last week, and it did not sell at a $10 starting bid, so then I upped the price to $20 plus shipping, looks like. And then I took a best offer of 16 plus shipping. So that works for me. That's about what it would have sold at if it would have sold at starting bid. So, but some of that brand, that Vina Cava brand, has sold quite well. So I think it just depends on the piece that you have. All right, so here is a One World top. This is a great brand, just bread and butter brand, especially when it's plus size. It sells consistently. I'm not going to say for high dollars because this only sold for $12.99, but when it's in the plus size, it sells usually from about that price point, you know, $10 to $20, just depending on what it is. So here's another piece. I thought it might sell for a little bit more, but that's okay. Stella McCartney for Adidas. It's just a basic sweatshirt, a green and gray sweatshirt, and I did take a best offer of $16 after this sat in my store for quite a while. All right, here is an Ann Taylor Loft dress. Oh, let me see here. Let me show you here we go. It's like a strapless dress, cute floral. Took a $15 best offer, free shipping. Sold this Zenergy by Chico's jacket for $15. I did take a best offer on this. I think I had it marked at like 25. All right, had these on my floor for quite a while. They're these Chacos, but they're like a girl's sneaker. They're definitely worn. I did sell them on my 35% off sale, so they sold for $13, free shipping, so not very much. I had those up in my store for quite a while too. All right, guys, I think it's official. Stussy, or Stussy, Stussy is how we used to say it when I was in middle school, when it was super, super popular. I think it's made a comeback because I took a best offer right away of $29 on this hoodie. And I had it marked at 35. So it actually sold twice. So the first time it sold, they bought it right away, like with best offer, went into unpaid item. Then I relisted it. It sold immediately after I relisted it at $29. So, and they paid. So that's awesome. That leads me into a good point that I wanted to talk about. If somebody does not pay for an item and it has to go into unpaid item dispute, here's what I recommend. First of all, I recommend that you automate your unpaid item disputes. It removes you emotionally from the equation. I put in my terms, just in my repeated text in my listing, that all items that are not paid for within 4 business days go into unpaid item. I say it's a case is automatically opened by eBay, and which is true, and then it closes within 4 days. So I give my buyers basically 8 days to pay for an item. When that happens, I do not stress out about it. I do not take it personally. Yes, it's frustrating, but it happens, and it's totally just a part of how eBay works. So once you kind of get used to that it's going to happen, then then it won't bother you so much. I see a lot of people on Instagram stressing out about unpaid item, but if you allow everything to go automated, and somehow let your customers know to expect it, so it's not like a surprise to them. I do try to send an invoice. I don't always, but I do try to send an invoice 2 business days or 2 days after the item has closed, so that they know to expect some kind of follow-up. And sometimes that's all they need, and it reminds them to pay for the item. And then if they have no intention on paying for the item, 4 days, I keep saying business days, 4 days, and it closes. So, and it opens, and then 4 more days. Then they have 4 more days to pay. So, and that's the response I give to people who message me immediately after buying an item, and they say, hey, I'm not going to be able to pay for this item until Tuesday. So if it's within that 4 days, I say, hey, no problem. eBay will open up, an unpaid item case on day 4. If it's after the 4 days, oftentimes, because they've communicated with me, I will disable the unpaid notification or unpaid item dispute feature on that transaction, which you can do individually. And then I will open it up manually if they have not paid by the day they said they were going to pay. It works really well. I've never had anybody get super bent out of shape about it. 8 days is a totally fair, reasonable expectation for people. So don't get emotional about these transactions. Just let the course ride. If it closes against them and they have enough people, and they have enough unpaid item disputes closed against them, eBay will take care of them as a buyer. That's the process that eBay has set in place. So I would just recommend that you not get super stressed out about it. And that goes for cancellations too. If a buyer sends you a message and asks you to cancel a transaction, just cancel the transaction and then relist it, and it will sell to somebody else. You don't want a buyer to feel forced to buy something. You don't want to force it on them, because the worst thing that could happen is you don't cancel the transaction upon their request. An unpaid item dispute is open, and then they get frustrated with that and they pay for it within the 4 days that eBay gives them. And then you have an irritated customer because they paid for and received an item, and then your feedback's in jeopardy. So when somebody asks to cancel an order, just cancel it. No big deal. It's annoying. It's annoying that you lost a sale, but I would rather have a sale from a buyer who's excited about the item that they're going to get than to have a frustrated buyer. So that's my 2 cents about that. I thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, on to it. So next item are these Sperry shoes. Got these at the bin, so paid about $1. They're these cute black sparkly ones. I love these, so I'm super drawn to them. I wish that they were my size, but they're not. So I sold these for $13 plus shipping, so 20 bucks. Again, those were on my floor for quite a while as well. Here's another Victoria's Secret piece that did sell for more around the price point that I was hoping for. Sold for $25 free shipping. Sold this Ann Taylor. It's this sequined floral blue skirt. Sold this for $17 free shipping. All right, finally sold this sweater. So it's this, I got really excited about it. It's a Polo Ralph Lauren flag sweater. Nothing too fancy or special about it. Had it on my floor for quite a while. Ran it on auction. Sold this thing for like 20 bucks on auction. They returned it because it didn't fit them very well, and so I put it back up again and I sold it for $20 plus shipping. So for $27, hopefully the new buyer will love it and keep it and not return it. This was my first Brandy Melville piece. I've heard other resellers talk about it, so it did pretty well for me. Sold within a couple of weeks for $17. Let's see if it'll focus. Try again. Nope. I think you can get a general idea of what the tag looks like. Anyway, it's this open front, one size fits most, like shrug cardigan. I don't normally pick up Jessica Simpson. Sorry, I just noticed a little fabric pull. Now all fixed. Picked up this Jessica Simpson. It's like a cape. And I don't normally pick up Jessica Simpson, but this cape, and it's houndstooth, like the style is a popular style right now, and sure enough, it sold for 20 bucks, so I'm glad I picked it up. It weighs definitely less than a pound, so 20 bucks free shipping. All right, picked up this dress at the bins. I'm happy with the price that I got for it. It's a Comfy USA dress. I have sold a Comfy USA dress before for like 60 or 70 bucks. Let's see if I can get that to come in. There we go. This is like a more basic dress. That first dress that I sold was definitely a little more complicated, more designer, login look, layered piece. This is just a basic stretch purple striped dress, and I took a best offer. I had this priced at like $33 and took a best offer of $28 yesterday on this. That one wasn't on sale. No, I must have taken that offer, yeah, yesterday, because I did not run a sale yesterday. That makes sense. Like, wait a minute. Okay, so this Escada sweater, I had showed this on a haul video a while ago. So I washed it because it was dirty, and after I washed it, I noticed this large hole right in the middle of the sweater. So obviously a pretty significant flaw. I ran it on auction. It did not sell on auction. So I went ahead and just priced it really low at 10 bucks plus shipping, and it sold So they paid $14 for this sweater with a hole in it. Bummer about the hole. And you know, I've heard that that happens, and that apparently happens sometime to this time to me, is that a wool sweater will have tiny little moth holes in it and you won't notice them until you wash them when they get bigger. So that happened with that. I've never had a complaint about that, but it always makes me wonder, oh no, how many other wool pieces have I sold where that has happened? Okay, so this is an Ann Taylor loft piece. I just love this. It's like a big cozy cable knit cardigan sweater. Sold this for $15 plus shipping. It does have a good amount of pilling on it. It's definitely used. So they pay 22 bucks, which I think is a totally fair price for a used sweater like that. And then I am at my last item. Man, 41 items sure goes fast. I wish that they shipped fast, but I will be spending probably the next 2 hours shipping all of these items. If you sell, you gotta ship, right? So Columbia, basic bread and butter piece. It is a pullover hoodie or hooded shirt, really. It's like a cute, I love this color, like peach striped. Sold this for $15. All right, guys, that's it. That's my sales. So my plan for this week is today I need to list and I need to photograph today. So I did not have my help with photography last Friday, so I'm a little bit behind in that. So I need to list some things. I have probably about 10 items to list before I need to photograph more pieces. So I'll list those things so I can get some movement in my store like I like to have. I will photograph, and that's going to probably just take up my time before my kids get home from school today. My photography might have to run into the evening tonight so that I have stuff to list for tomorrow. My hope is to go, I did do a good amount of sourcing. I've got 2 full tubs of stuff, so I need to get that stuff listed this week. And then my plan is to go on Wednesday and Friday to the bins. I may add a trip somewhere else to that, but right now I think if I go to the bins on Wednesday and Friday, that should take care of all my sourcing needs. So thanks you guys so much for watching. Hey, you know, I get a lot of good feedback on these what sold videos and on my occasional haul videos that I do. I've kind of been thinking about what I want to do with this channel. And I don't necessarily want to do like a step-by-step tutorial of things, but if there's any topic that you want me to address, please let me know. I know there's a lot of great resellers out there doing YouTube, and they've got great information with some more detailed step-by-step tutorials, how to list, how to photograph, how to store their items. I know everybody kind of does things differently. If you follow me on Instagram, I show a lot of that over there too. So, but if you have anything that you want me to talk about, any subject you want me to address, in my videos, please let me know, and I'm always taking suggestions. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you like this video and you want to see more. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and leave me a comment or a question if you would like to in the comment section. So have a great day, you guys. Happy sourcing, happy listing, happy shipping, and have a great day. Bye.